Goku's bright eyes watched with amazement as the pieces taken from the plane started to fly around and assemble themselves into a small device. It looked truly magical. While he himself wasn't a very technical person and always admired Bulma for what she was able to do with such things, he had to admit that this flying baby, Turbo, was on a whole other level. "Here," the floating boy said, smiling. Goku pressed the button, and the location of the 3 Dragon Balls appeared on the screen. It worked, just as intended. Penguin Village was a bizarre place, but he had surely found some rather interesting friends there. "So, you need to find the remaining ones?" Arale, the girl who saved his skin from General Blue, tilted her head in a curious manner, said. "Yeah, there are more bad people like this General Blue fellow that you play tag with. If they gather all 7, who knows what bad things they can do. It seems that you need some help, Goku. Someone has to look after you." She turned her head toward Dr. Senbei Norimaki, her surrogate father. "Senbei, can I go with Goku?" The scientist seemed a little bit troubled by this request, as he had not expected that question.
Arale, that might be dangerous. And besides, what about school?"
He was trying to make up excuses, and school sounded like a very good one. "I don't go to school anymore, silly, don't you remember? And besides, if it's dangerous, that's the reason I should go. And maybe I'll be able to make a wish on the Dragon Balls and get a pony, or that flower what changes color every day. Well, we actually haven't thought about a wish yet. We just don't want them to find themselves in the hands of the Red Ribbon Army is all. I mean, I can take Arale on a chip if she wants to. I mean, I could use the company." Goku smiled. "Senbei, Midori, pretty please, I'll be good." She looked at her adopted parents with big eyes full of hope. Obviously, they weren't concerned for her safety because, come on, it's Arale, but for the safety of everyone else involved. On the other hand, this Goku seemed like a decent kid, and standing up to the likes of the Red Ribbon Army was no mean feat, but he needed to warn them about potential dangers. Senbei sighed loudly, defeated, as Midori smirked at him.
All right. But once all this nonsense is over, you come back home."
Yay! Thank you, Senbei! You hear that, Goku? I can go! Arale jumped happily with the Gachans, celebrating with her in the air. While she was busy with this display of joy, Dr. Norimaki patted the monkey boy on the shoulder.
"Walk with me for a moment, Goku," he said very quietly.
"Huh?" The young warrior looked at him, curiously wondering why he wanted to talk with him in private, but decided to just go along with it.
"So, Arale wants to help you. She's always liked helping other people."
"If you're worried about me keeping her safe, don't worry, I will, I promise. She also might keep me safe."
"That's one thing. You see, our Arale doesn't quite have control over her strength, and she often causes a lot of unintended mayhem. So you need to be really, really careful, buddy."
"She's so strong, though. She could go to the World Martial Arts Tournament and make you lots of money." Goku said it excitedly. "And I'd get a challenge if I really wanted it."
"I don't know about that. If they would accept her kind there."
Senbei blushed slightly, but trying to pretend still to be cool. "Why not? She's awesome." Senbei looked around to make sure that no one was listening in, because this sounded really important.
"Hey, can you keep a secret? I mean, everyone around here knows already, but, I don't really want those punks of the Red Ribbon Army to know, that whatever I'm about to tell you, they could use against her, and,
Of course! I'm usually really good at keeping them. You can count on me, Senbei."
"Well, I built her. Arale is a robot."
A robot? Whoa! She seems so human-like. I would have never guessed. Although, the dinner Midori brought to her in the Gachans was kind of weird, now that I think about it. And that weird drink in the bottle.
"Gasoline. She needs that to keep her running, you know. So you'll need to take supplies and return here once you run out of it. You might pick up something on the trail, but gas prices these days, they're kinda high."
Goku scratched his head. "Maybe my friend Bulma will have something for her. You know, she's the one that built the radar."
"Reese's daughter, eh? Yeah. Leave it to that family to needlessly overcomplicate things. But, alright, sure.
Senbei sighed but went serious for another moment.
Listen, Goku. The important thing is that I don't think that the army is a physical threat to my life, but if they figure out that she's a robot, they might try a different approach. And I would not like her to be in their hands, not one bit. Think what they could do if they figured out how she is built. The end of the world could be real possible.
Oh, that sounds scary.
The boy agreed. Listen, it's very possible that you'll get bored once you find the next Dragon Ball. Don't take it personally, it's just the way she is. Your cloud thingy seems to be pretty quick, so if that happens, just bring her home, alright?
Norimaki gave Goku a stern look to really impress upon that.
I promise, we'll keep each other safe.
As they turned away, now the Gachans were sad that Arale was leaving them because they would really miss her. So it was a pretty long and drawn out goodbye, but finally, when it was all done, Goku shouted in the sky,
"Oh, Nimbus!"
And from the heavens in an almost playful manner, the yellow cloud descended. The inhabitants of Penguin Village were called in to bid them all farewell in the midst of this magic cloud. Arale seemed really excited by this adventure, and once the cloud started to rise, she started to wave back to her friends as they slowly grew smaller and smaller.
Goodbye, everyone! I'll be back soon! Maybe with a pony! That'll be cool!
The flight took many, many hours, during which Arale excitedly asked Goku many questions, to which Goku didn't really always know the answers, but he tried his best to reply. He had to admit it though, it was nice to have a bit of a traveling companion for this bit. They were on their way to the sacred land of Korin.
So who's this Korin, huh? He must be real important since this whole land's named after him. And that volcano's huge!
Arale seemed really excited.
Yeah, although not as impressive as Fire Mountain,
Goku replied in some sort of one-upmanship.
You've been to Fire Mountain?
Arale said.
I heard something happened with it.
Goku was confused.
Yeah, well, I guess now it's just a mountain.
They kept looking and noticed that a volcano had recently erupted. And moreover, there were some Red Ribbon Army vehicles around a small tribal camp nearby.
That doesn't look good. Arale, stay close.
Goku looked to her as Nimbus started to slowly descend toward the ruckus.
Maybe I could play with them and explain why being mean's not right.
Goku recalled the explosion of General Blue right up into the sky. Who knows if that man was still alive after all of that? Although this sounded like a solution, he also remembered his promise to Senbei.
We'll see, but at first, we're gonna just need to scout around a little bit before we get stuck in. Scout? You mean like camping? Marshmallows or forest songs? No, like checking on the situation. But that's cool too. After we get the Dragon Ball, make sure that everyone's safe. Okay, let's go!
As they began to move in, they heard shots. That's not good. Maybe taking Arale with him wasn't such a great idea after all. As they were flying around, they suddenly heard a plea for help. A small plane with the Red Ribbon Army symbol on it was circling around the valley. Piloting it was a tiger-shaped individual who was seemingly holding a small boy as hostage. It was the child who was the source of this noise.
Kitty!
Arale shouted excitedly.
A bad kitty at that. He could drop that poor boy if he's not careful. We gotta do something,
said Goku. As they flew closer, they could see panic in the tiger's eyes.
Oh no, not you! They warned me about you!
The member of the army attempted some evasive maneuvers, but they didn't seem to be overly helpful in getting away from them, as Arale then jumped on him and started forcefully patting him on the head.
Kitty!
She yelled excitedly.
Why are you being nasty to that boy?
The tiger man shrieked in panic as he then dropped the hostage. But luckily, Goku was there just in time to catch him. This wasn't the end of the problems for the animal-like member of the Red Ribbon Army. Oh no.
Ah, get off! Get off! I can't see while I'm flying!
He tried to shake Arale off.
Say that you're sorry, and I'll take care of you. We'll find you some nice pet food and a bit of a ribbon. It'll be great,
said Arale, so excited about this big kitty. The tiger lost control over the vehicle and started plummeting downward.
Arale!
Goku yelled and attempted to chase her, only for the girl to just simply jump up completely undeterred and land on Nimbus like it were nothing, like they were on the ground.
Bye-bye, Kitty!
Before Kitty could regain control over the vehicle, the vessel had begun to plummet down toward its doom. And then it crashed on the edge of the volcano, leaving a huge crater. Oops. Goku turned pale and looked to Arale, who was laughing and waving.
I wouldn't want to get on your bad side,
said Goku.
Hey, new friend. My name's Goku, and, this is Arale. We're looking for Dragon Balls.
Arale added excitedly. The boy was a little meek, but nevertheless, he seemed to be glad about this rescue.
My name's Upa. This Batman was looking for a ball that fell out of the volcano. It had stars on it. Is that what you call a Dragon Ball? Yeah, that's right. Have you seen it?
Goku was glad to hear that.
Well, my daddy has it. Can you bring me to him? He's right over there.
Upa pointed at a kind-looking, hulking man watching everything happening from below.
Sure thing,
said Goku. And as they landed, they could see that father and son were happy to see each other once more, and they embraced. The older of the tribals, Bora, was very grateful that Goku and Arale had saved Upa, and then of course handed them the Dragon Ball without much questioning. When Goku saw it, his face brightened as it turned out to be the 4-star Dragon Ball.
Hey, this one belonged to my grandpa. Your grandpa? So how did it fall into the volcano?
Arale said, very confused. Goku then of course had to explain to the three of them the exact mechanisms of the Dragon Balls and how they worked. His robot companion gladly chimed in as she heard parts of the story in Penguin Village from before, and then she could piece it together and come up with her own interpretation.
So, can we do that whole scouting thing? She said. You guys have a tent? I want to go camping.
Bora laughed loudly and invited the two of them over for a meal. Goku would make sure that Arale would get her gasoline, as he had taken some bottles for her from Senbei. Bora told Goku the story about the Guardian and the tower. It was kind of impressive, as it seemed to go even higher than the very sky above them. Arale, of course, was super excited, as everything seemed new and fresh to her. On one hand, she had massive knowledge, being able to perfectly identify the fish that her new friends were busy eating. But on the other, she didn't have a particularly full understanding of how dire the present situation was.
I wonder where Kitty got to. Well, hope he'll be nice from now on.
She was thinking very, very curiously.
I think,
Goku hesitated for a moment,
that he most likely went to the other world.
He didn't want to think about it.
Other world? Oh, that must be pretty far away. Think he'll be back? I don't think it works that way.
Goku was really getting awkward right now.
Well, he hasn't at least done anything bad to Upa, right?
Goku sighed with a weak smile. He wasn't really used to being the smarter tool in the shed right now. Meanwhile, at Red Ribbon Army Command, General Blue was giving a very hectic report to his Supreme Commander. I may have lost the Dragon Balls, but we have the radar now. You don't understand. There was this girl, and she was really powerful. This girl? Staff Commander Black had shown him blurry footage of Arale camping together with Goku, Bora, and Upa. One of our drones spotted them, right after we lost Yellow's signal. Precisely. Those kids, they're not human. You don't understand. And yet you return without any Dragon Balls. Mercenary Tao, can you come in here for a second? General Blue gasped silently. The infamous assassin had a reputation within the army. His methods were seemingly quite drastic, even for a member of his organization. You called, Commander? The man dressed up in his very formal pink suit slowly walked in. Something seemed to be supporting his long braid as it hung down. Blue has to show us that he's still useful to our cause. Will you spar with him? Of course. It'll be my pleasure. Your move, General. Blue knew that this would be a fight for his life, so he lashed out with his entire strength, trying everything. But the mercenary was skillfully dodging his every single move. Finally, he decided to use his paralyzing effect, but it didn't work. As to disrespect the man, Tao just used his tongue to strike at the general's temple, thus ending his life. Pathetic, he said quietly. Very good, Tao. Very good. I'm gonna send you to where Yellow and Blue failed. Have you seen the footage? I need those two dead. It will be done. Although I would like to have some intel before we leave, of course. Here's all we have on this Son Goku kid. The other one, Blue, told me that this girl's from a place called, Penguin Village. Penguin Village? Tao scratched his chin. Isn't that the place Dr. Norimaki is from? Norimaki? I'm not familiar with that name. Commander Red seemed very confused. Never mind, sir. I will ask Juro about it. A very nasty smile appeared on the mercenary's face. He had an old friend to visit before the mission. This is the second of our 4 April Fool's What If ideas. It's guaranteed to have one more part, and then you'll have to choose one out of the 4 that will continue. We'd like to thank our commenters for choosing this idea, because this has been appearing around our roundtables very often, but we've decided to finally make it happen. Stay tuned for the other 2 stories, and we shall catch you later.